Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel Ganesha-Hanuman.com. Today we'll talk about the Mars and Ketu conjunction. See, Mars is a very Pitta planet, right? It's the warrior-in-chief, it's the commander-in-chief, it's the planet of action, planet of anger, warfare, planet of energy. And Ketu is actually a higher dose of Mars. See, Mars rules Scorpio, one of the signs that Mars rules is Scorpio. And Ketu is a co-ruler of Scorpio. And so this conjunction, they're together for another month and 1 week. So from October 3rd through November 15th. So they're together in a sign. So that creates a lot of this fiery energy in that sign, right? So Mars and Ketu, they are together in the sign of Libra. Now, Libra is a very gentle, harmonious sign. It's the sign of harmony and love and relationships and balance and sharing. Okay, Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the enemy of Mars and Ketu. So this is a combination where Mars and Ketu, this extreme fire energy, okay, in the sign of Libra. So they're not compatible. Fire and see, fiery planets in Libra means that's not good for relationships in general. Okay, there is a lot of too much fire in the seventh natural sign of the Kalpurush, right, which represents relationships, one-on-one partnerships. So a lot of fiery energy possible in our relationships. We have to be very, very, very careful. And so what do we have is excess of fire. And Mars is also action. Mars is actually also rules Aries, which is the first sign. And Aries people are very, aggressive and very instantaneous. Like they have an idea, they just act upon it, right? So they, without thinking, they'll jump on executing an idea. Action, 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 and daredevils, and trying out new things without possibly thinking through the consequences. That's Mars in general, just Mars. Okay. Combine it with Ketu. Ketu is a headless planet. Ketu is also represents headless mistakes. So there is a chance of doing rash activities, doing taking decisions without thinking completely. So Mars and Ketu means a possibility of headless mistakes to the nth degree. Okay, Mars represents blood, and so could be surgery, could be blood issues or accidents. Mars is also represents accidents. And depending on which house it's taking place in, so we'll talk about all the 12 houses, but it could mean harsh speech. But there's lots of things we can do to counter that excessive fire energy. What we can do is, first is Mars is Deha Karaka. Okay, Mars is our physical body in general, our Deha. And Mars wants what? Action. So we can do exercise. We go to the gym, right? Bodybuilding. So if you have been trying to lose weight, this is perfect opportunity to go to the gym, because Mars is body action, and then Ketu is reduction of that, right? So you want to reduce your fat. So it's an excellent opportunity. Blood, Mars represents blood. Ketu is like, cutting off things, ending. So a good remedy, key remedy for Mars Ketu conjunction is blood donation. So why don't we voluntarily do something that's indicated, right? So blood donation is a wonderful remedy. Be careful from the fire mishaps possible, right? So Mars and Ketu. And another thing you can do is fire rituals, the yagyas, okay? Formal, Vedic yagyas, the Vedic fire rituals are perfect, but you can actually honor the fire energy in many different forms. You can meditate on the rising sun. You can just sit and gaze at the candle. That's called a Tratak sadhana, right? So Tratak sadhana is like gazing at the candle flame for say 15-20 seconds, and then closing your eyes and then imagining that flame, and then opening your eyes again once the flame recedes. So keep doing that every few seconds. Open, close, open, close. So that channels, that sort of activates our pineal gland. So that will channel the fire energy in a positive way. You can do mantras for Agni Dev. You can do any kind of yagya when you do swaha, offering it to the Agni, the deity of fire. Okay, so in any case, this is Mars Ketu conjunction in general for everybody. Lot of stress on relationships, on our speech, on our action. Pitta, anger, accidents, all those issues could be possible through November 15th. So let's see now one by one for each sign how that's going to impact. I'll share my screen. And before that, so if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That helps. And I'm starting a course also. If you're interested, please join the Jyotish course. We're starting on November 1st. All right, so this is Mars and Ketu in Libra. You see the chart here, Mars and Ketu together in number 7 sign, which is Libra. Mars and Ketu in Libra from October 3rd through November 15th. So this is for Aries rising. For Aries rising, what's happening? Mars is, of course, the ruler of the Lagna. The first sign is Aries, and it's the ruler of the 8th house, which is Scorpio. And it is sitting in the 7th house. Especially very, very sensitive time for Libra, for Aries rising when it comes to relationships, because 7th house is all about relationships. Okay, 8th lord coming to the 7th house means possible change and transformation in relationships. Okay, first house lord, the Lagna lord, coming to the 7th house means the person, they will be preoccupied, they'll be very much involved in their one-on-one relationships, partnerships. Okay, so that'll be on their mind. Basically, that'll be the focus. So entire focus is on relationships. It's the 7th house we're talking about. So a lot of fire energy in the 7th house. Sorry. So the key thing is you could do together with your partner, you can do yagya. That's the best thing for Aries rising, and that'll channel the excessive of fire energy. And then also you can study esoteric subjects. So that is 8th house. Start studying Jyotish or Ayurveda or yoga or any other, energy healing, any of these esoteric subjects, if possible, together with your spouse. Okay, that'll be a perfect remedy for you to channel. And then, of course, you can do the mantras for Mars and Ketu, the Ganesh mantra and the Hanuman mantra, right? So Mars, the deity for Mars is Hanuman, and the deity for Ketu is Ganesha. There are mantras on my website under the remedies section. There are mantras for Mars and Ketu. You can look at those. And of course, you can do the yagyas and fire ceremonies. So that's Aries rising. Be very careful. It is you yourself and your spouse are involved, and the house of change, transformation. And maybe there might be some hidden secrets that may come to surface with respect to your relationships or with, your own personal hidden secrets. Okay. So in other words, what we're saying is the 8th house is secrets, and first house is yourself, and 7th house is relationships. So those are connected. So there may be some secrets that may be revealed. So that could be a positive thing, meaning some hidden depths of knowledge, or it could be on the mundane level, which is maybe you had some secrets which you didn't want to expose, and then now they'll come to surface. So be careful around all of that. But being proactive, doing yagyas, fire ceremonies, focusing on the fire, Agni Dev, and doing things together, be more spiritual. Okay, Mars is action, but Ketu wants you to go within. So take action that makes you go within with your partner. That's Aries rising. Next is Taurus rising. Taurus rising, of course, Mars is the ruler of the 7th house, which is Scorpio, and it's the ruler of the 12th house, which is Aries. So 7th lord and 12th lord sitting in the 6th house. So Mars and Ketu together sitting in the 6th house in the sign of Libra. So listen to the intro section for general remedies for Mars and Ketu in Libra. For Taurus rising, again, this is a very, very sensitive time for your relationships, especially for Taurus, actually, even more so than Aries, because whenever that 7th lord goes to the 6th house, that means that's not good for relationships in general, because the 12th house from itself is the loss of that house. So it may indicate ending of relationship, but it doesn't have to be that way. It may mean both of you, could work on the 6th house matters, which is health routines. Start going to the gym together with your partner. That's one of the key, big remedies you can do. And then you can focus on your Shadripus together with your partner. The 6th house is Shadripus, right? Which is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsar, the 6 weaknesses that we have. Focus on your diet, focus on your volunteer activities. Do volunteer activities together with your partner. Okay. Do not take any new loans. Absolutely. Sixth house has Mars and Ketu. You do not want to take new loans. In fact, you want to pay off any existing loans if possible. And then, of course, 12th Lord is coming to the sixth house as well. So there may be some possible expenses, or there may be some foreigners coming to visit you, or you may get some projects at your work from foreigners. Okay. But a lot of this energy connected with the enemy, sixth house and 12th house, both are represent enemies. Sixth house is the external enemies, that visible enemies, and 12th house is like hidden enemies. It's like the blind spot. So all of those are going to be in play. So good. Mars in the sixth is good to tackle the enemies, actually. So be strong. You'll have the courage to fight the enemies. But careful with relationships. Do not have any ego issues. Do not take action without thinking, because Mars with Ketu might mean action without thinking through the consequences. So that's Taurus rising, Mars in Libra. Gemini rising, number 3 sign. Gemini, sixth house is Scorpio, ruled by Mars. And then 11th house is Aries, ruled by Mars. So sixth Lord and 11th Lord are sitting in the fifth house. Fifth house is Libra. You see here Mars and Ketu. What does that mean? 11th Lord is coming to your fifth house. That means there may be gains through your children or gains for your children. Excellent time. Wonderful time for doing creative things with your children. Okay. Especially related to money, related to your health, and also good time to spend, do some projects, things with your friends. And you can maybe, some like go to gym together with your friends or with your children, but also very creative projects in general. Sports activities, actually. Fifth house is also sports. So do lots of outdoor physical sports activities, exercise, gym with your children or with your friends. And then sixth house is also our Shadripus, weaknesses. So don't project your weaknesses on your children, or don't start looking for weaknesses in your children, like negative things. So that's one caution. But in general, this will bring gains from various sources through your children or through your work also. That is sixth house. Okay, so that's Gemini rising. But you can do the fire ceremony, yagyas, together with your children. You can go to the gym, do physical activities with your children. You can do mantras, chanting. Fifth house also represents mantras. And so excellent time for Gemini rising to do chanting and mantras with your children or with your friends, or with your even with your people who work with you in your job, or people who work for you. That's sixth house. Okay. Next is Cancer rising. Cancer rising has Mars and Ketu is sitting in the fourth house here. That's sign of Libra. And Mars rules the fifth house, which is Scorpio, and rules the 10th house, which is Aries. So fifth Lord and 10th Lord sitting in the fourth house. So be very careful when dealing with your mother, not to have any anger issues. And in general, in your home environment, there could be a lot of, be careful with any fire issues, actual physical fire risks in your home, a place of residence, even with your vehicles. Okay, so very careful. As remedies, of course, you can do yagyas and you can do mantras. And you can do physical exercise with your mom, like start a physical exercise a routine with your mom, doing lots of physical exercise. And then with your work colleagues also, like you have a work buddy, start going to the gym with your work colleagues, things like that. But also with your children, especially with your children and your mom. Combine that and do lots of physical exercise. You can do creative projects with your mom, with your children, and do not make any speculative, do not take any risky speculative investments. So no, like risky stock investments and things like that, because fifth house Lord is with Ketu. So that's Cancer rising. Next is Leo rising. So for Leo rising, we have the fourth Lord, which is fourth sign is Scorpio. And we have the ninth house, which is Aries, both ruled by Mars. So fourth Lord and ninth Lord are sitting in the third house. So that brings your mother and your father and your siblings together. So there may be some kind of anger issues rise with respect to your mother or father or your siblings, The whole family is involved here. And third house is the house of courage. So Mars and Ketu in third house will give you immense courage. Like nobody can, mess with you. So this is a lot of courage to take care of things on a day-to-day basis. A lot of running errands, like take care of short distance travels, say within the city, to get a lot of things done. But also a great time to pick up new skills, especially physical skills, that involve your physical body. So learn new skills. Be very careful with your communication. Third house is communication, so there may be chances of harsh communication in your written or verbal communication, especially written communication. And so because Mars and Ketu fire energy, you may end up writing like harsh emails and things like that. Be very, very careful when it comes to documentation, signing any contracts. It's Mars and Ketu we're talking about. Ketu in the third house, classic combination for making any mistakes when you sign documents, or you didn't read through the document. That's Leo rising, Mars in Libra. The next is Virgo rising. So Virgo rising is, we have the third lord, which is the sign of Scorpio, and the eighth lord, which is the sign of Aries, both ruled by Mars. So the third lord and the eighth lord are sitting in the second house. So second house is Libra. So we have Mars and Ketu sitting in Libra through November 15th. So what's happening is third house is our siblings. Eighth house is hidden things and change and transformation. Second house is our family. First of all, be very careful when it comes to communication with your family. Do not have any anger issues when it comes to talking with your family. Good time to sort of do physical exercise with your family. Do yagyas, organize like a family yagya. Have a priest come to your house and invite people and do some yagyas and puja, fire ceremonies especially. Good time to take care of, focus on family wealth, financial management in your home, right? So make sure you're not missing out on any financial details. Eighth house is change, transformation. Also good time you can study some things, esoteric subjects with your family or with your siblings. Great time for that. But speech is the main issue. Second house is speech, and second house is also family and the food that we eat. So Mars and Ketu, a lot of fire energy. You may end up eating a lot of spicy food, pitta food. Avoid doing that, and eat more sattvic food. So that's Virgo rising. Libra rising, you have the second lord and the seventh lord sitting in the Lagna. So second house is Scorpio, seventh house is Aries. So the lord of those is Mars sitting in the Lagna. Very, very careful with your, being, as in you might feel a lot of anger and pitta in general, a lot of like restlessness, like you urge to take action without thinking. Mars and Ketu sitting in the Lagna. Also, possible issues with when it comes to relationships. Seventh lord is sitting in your Lagna. That means your relationships will be on your mind all the time. They'll be taking your energy. They'll be your key focus during this time. And second lord also. So that means family and your relationships will take most of your attention. They'll be on your mind. They'll be literally taking all your attention. They'll be demanding all your attention and energy. And with Mars and Ketu, that could lead to like anger and pitta issues. So take care of your head also. Do head massage with cooling oils if that suits your constitution. So of course, this is not a medical advice at all. Consult a doctor or a physician, but good time to cool down your mind, your head area, the first house. Okay. And then do things with your partner, with your family, which are more physical and honor the fire energy. Now we have Scorpio rising. So the Lagna Lord, which is Mars, and the sixth Lord, both are sitting in the 12th house. So 12th house is the house, you can say, for restrictions, for losses, for foreign people, for other planes of existence. So this fire energy, actually, especially Ketu sitting in the 12th house, will give you natural access to other planes of existence. So in your sleep, in your dreams, you can focus, you can channel that energy to do yoga nidra, lucid dreaming, things like that. Okay. Now, Lagna Lord sitting in the 12th house means your focus will be the foreigners, foreign places. You may love, this is excellent time for you to go on a pilgrimage, to go on a retreat to an ashram. okay, and do fire ceremonies, rituals, yagyas. Okay, and then sixth lord is also sitting in the 12th house. So again, sixth, 12th axis means a lot of like possible like issues with the enemies, you know, external enemies and hidden enemies. So be careful with anybody, any things that you are not, you know, on the same page with. But also sixth house is our service. So you may be doing service in a foreign country or serving foreign people. So that's an excellent time for doing that. That's Scorpio rising. Sagittarius rising, Mars is the fifth ruler for Aries, and Mars is also the 12th ruler for Scorpio, sitting in the 11th house. So you can, you know, there may be gains from your children, gains from foreigners, or gains with your friends, but very careful when it comes to your friends. Do not use harsh words. Be careful with your speech when it comes to your friends, and also social network. Like, don't have any hate speech or, you know, harsh words on social media. Mars and Ketu may be like action to act upon your desires without thinking. 11th house is all about our, you know, long desires. And so Mars and Ketu is action without thinking, possibly. So you may, oh, I need this, I want this, I want this, I want this, lots of desires, and then you may act upon those without thinking. So be very careful. Do not act on any of your impulsive desires until November 15th. If you really, really have to, then do some yagyas before that, do some physical exercise, and your mind will change. All right, that's was Scorpio rising. Now, Capricorn rising. Capricorn rising, you have the fourth lord, that is Aries, ruled by Mars, and the 11th house ruled by Mars. So fourth lord and the 11th lord sitting in the 10th house. Be very careful in your communication at work with your superiors, with the authorities, with the government agencies. You know, do not pick up any fights at work or with the government officials. Like if you have some permits in the you know, applied for some permits for your home or something, construction, anything. Be very, very calm and careful when you're dealing with authorities. And of course, this is your fourth house is the mother, 11th house is your friends and social network. So your mother may be involved in your work, you know, in some form. She may help you, or directly she may be involved. Your friends may help you with your work. Your friends may bring financial gains for your work, for your profession. They may like get you projects and things like that. So excellent time for that. I mean, Mars and Ketu, amazing amount of energy. You can channel that energy at work, but in a constructive way. Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising is, so we have third lord, which is Mars for Aries, and the 10th lord, which is Scorpio. Third lord and 10th lord sitting in the 9th house here, Mars and Ketu. See, third lord is siblings and courage, and 10th lord is our work, our profession. They're both sitting in the 9th house. So this indicates there may be, you know, you may actually think of making changes in your work profession. It may become, you know, you may be thinking of doing more spiritual work as a profession. Okay, that too with your siblings, work that is very courageous. Or you may be thinking of doing work with your gurus, with your superiors, with your teachers. So like some joint projects or starting a company or a class or a school with your gurus, with your teachers. And this is excellent time, great time for you to do yagyas with your gurus, you know, sitting with your gurus. Invite a guru at your home to do a yagya, a homa ceremony, right? And then third house is also our skills, and so learning some higher, you know, some spiritual skills. Excellent time for that. And then we have Pisces rising. Pisces is so we have the second lord, which is Aries, and the ninth lord, Scorpio. Both Mars sitting in the 8th house. So we have the second lord and the ninth lord sitting in the 8th house. A lot of change in your family dynamics, change in your gurus, the way you your thinking about, you know, your philosophy, your wisdom, and you will be very, very interested in deep secrets of the universe, higher wisdom. Excellent time to start some Jyotish course, start some Ayurveda course. Excellent time to dive deep into the um, exploring the herbs, the Ayurveda, learning about those, or start using those for your own health. And then doing yagyas. So yagyas are transformative, you know, surrender to the fire god. So that's 8th house is surrender. Eighth house is like unknown things. So just doing fire ceremonies, surrendering. When you say swaha, when you offer herbs in the fire, in the yagya, we say swaha and we say idam namama at the end, which means nothing belongs to me, it's all yours. So that's a perfect surrender, full surrender to the higher being. So that's Pisces rising. That was the Mars in Libra for all the 12 rising signs. So be careful with your speech. Be careful with the fire, literally. Be careful while driving, and be careful not to take any action without thinking through the results first, because Mars and Ketu could lead to action without thinking. But overall, excellent time actually to honor the fire energy, do yagyas, do blood donation, do physical exercise. Okay, so that's all Mars in Libra with Ketu through November 15th for all 12 rising signs. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Namaste.